Hello everyone, it's Peter, your personal face exercise coach from FACEROBICS. Today I'm going to be doing a video about your face and how you perceive yourself. So stay with me and I'll be back soon. Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming by today. I really do appreciate it. Today I'm going to be talking about how we perceive ourselves. Now, I do get a lot of people make comments about my nose is too big, or my nose is too flat, or my eyes are too close together, or my lips are droopy, and a multitude of things that we see wrong with ourselves. Now, firstly, I'd like to say that facial exercises, if you do them regularly and do them as a maintenance thing with the routines, you will be able to bring your face back to where it was when you were younger. And that's the amazing thing about facial exercises, is the muscles on our face, when you exercise them, adapt to the natural shape of our skeletal features. Now, I discovered this when I was watching the Crime Channel one day. I'm a real Crime Channel buff and I love the Crime Channel and I watch it all the time, and you know, it's something I do. I just find it really interesting. But when I was watching it, I found a show that was about forensic artists, and it was intriguing. This man, well, somebody had found a skull out in the boondocks somewhere, and they brought it back to the police and they said, you know, we found this skull. So the police enlisted a forensic artist. And what this artist did was he reconstructed the face according to the skeletal features. Now, as I was watching it, I was absolutely intrigued by it, because I realized that when you exercise the muscles on your face, the muscles actually adapt back to the features, to our skeletal features. Now, our skeletal features have a signature, have a very unique signature. And those skeletal features are what makes us look like what we look like with skin and muscles. So it's very important that you understand that when you do exercise your face, this is the signature that you're going back to. You cannot overbuild with the exercises that I've created and the way that I ask people to work and practice the program. If you were just doing the same exercises over and over and over, you could possibly overbuild the muscles. But because you're using a routine that changes every 6 weeks and changes the number of repetitions you're doing, it is impossible to overbuild or hyperextend or all of that stuff that could happen with facial exercises. It's impossible to do it with the FACEROBICS program. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this too is because when we look at ourselves in the mirror and we go, right, we're getting older, we're aging, and we look horrible. And then we start lifting up our face like this and we go, well, if I just could lift that up, I look like I did before. Or if I could just sort of lift these back, yeah, that looks pretty good. I could look like I did before. Now, with facial exercises and using the FACEROBICS program, you can do it to a certain point. So, interesting enough, I met somebody the other day and she was only a young girl. She was in her late 30s. And because people these days age so much more rapidly, because of the food that we eat, because smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, sugar ages you exponentially. Sugar, grey hair, everything. Sugar is the worst poison that you can put in your body, next to heroin, crack and all that stuff. It is shocking. But anyway, that's the reason why people are aging exponentially these days, a lot more than what we did when we were younger. Anyway, I met this girl and she could see herself aging. She was like 39 or something like that. And she asked me, with facial exercises, she wanted to be able to do it instantly. She said, it needs to be done immediately. And I said, look, you can't do it immediately. It's like exercising your body. It takes time. And also what happens is that certain parts of your face will change quicker than other parts of your face. And those who do the program will have to agree with that. So I'm trying to say to this girl, look, what you need to do is just do the program, do it regularly, change it about, do a full face routine, because all she wanted was her eyes and her nose or something else. And I said, look, it's not possible. You have to do the whole face. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that we are so dissatisfied with the way that we look. And we are so, I don't know, we look at TV and we read the magazines and we see these people who have been photoshopped. Okay, these girls have been photoshopped. Number one, they're like 13. And number two, if they're 16, they've been photoshopped. And their body has been photoshopped as well. Their legs, everything about them is not them. It's a fabrication of something that we think we have to look like. We don't. We are beautiful inside and out. And if you can get the concept of your beauty comes from within, you will then look at yourself and see how beautiful you are, and then start the exercises, and then see yourself go back to how more gorgeous you were. Really, it's the most amazing thing what facial exercises will do for you. So this is why I say to people, you need to be doing that full face routine. You can't just do the one exercise, but more than anything, you need to just start facial exercises. Now, the beauty about facial exercises is this, and this is the main benefit of facial exercises, and something that I have discovered and will be writing about soon. What I've discovered is that we hold emotions in our body. And I knew this for a long time because I did very extensive energy healing for a number of years. So I understand how we hold our emotions in muscles in our body. But when I started doing facial exercises, I realized that our emotions are directly related to our facial expressions, because our expressions are called expressions of emotion. So when we feel something, we express it in our face, like this, or like this, or like this. It's all connected. So our happy emotions are connected to our face, our sad emotions are connected to our face, our angry emotions are connected to our face. Every emotion that you can experience is connected to the muscles in our face. Now, what this means is that the more that you do your facial exercises, and the more that you're pressing these muscles and these little acupressure points, the faster you are releasing the emotion that you hold in your face. Now, when you see somebody that's in a lot of pain, for instance, you can see that emotion of pain, physical and emotional pain, in their face. So the moment you start pressing your eyebrows, for instance, and doing the exercises, all of that starts to release away. And although we still experience pain, it is actually released away and it dissipates without anything else that you have to do. Now, this is something that I realized, that a lot of problems that I had in my life just seemed to disappear when I started doing facial exercises. This is because we are pressing the acupressure points and we are releasing the emotions out of our muscles that we hold in our face. This is to do with energy, and it's to do with energy healing as well, because it's the energy that we hold into our muscles very tightly that makes it puffy, that makes it wrinkle, that makes our lips look pursed, give our pursed lips. It's the emotional side of our face that we forget about. We know the physical side, but we forget about the emotional side. And this is the amazing thing about facial exercises. If you start doing them and do them regularly, you'll find that something that bothered you, like really bothered you, just doesn't even exist anymore, and you don't even know why it doesn't exist. It's just disappeared. This is how I have dealt with a lot of my problems that I have emotionally and had emotionally. If I am doing an exercise, I focus on the emotion that would be related to that muscle. So up here in our corrugator, we have anger, we have confusion, questioning, perplexing, all of those emotions that do with frowning. If there's something that I'm holding, I really focus on letting it go. And I'm going to start adding this into the program. And I know that the program is quite complicated at the moment, but I want to start teaching people how to release their emotions that are in their face. Now, once you start doing this, what you will find is that you will look at yourself in the mirror and you will not see any of those imperfections ever again. You will actually look at yourself and go, I am beautiful. And that's what we really want to believe about ourselves, that we are beautiful. And this is what I want to teach you how to do, is to believe from within that you are beautiful and that you can look at yourself in the mirror and think that you are beautiful, because you will not see any of those imperfections on your face any longer. Now look, you might see a few wrinkles and you might see yourself aging a bit, but if you are doing facial exercises regularly, it will hold back that aging process to as far as facial exercises can. Now, I've explained to you before that it's not perfect, that you are still aging, and that facial exercises is like a wall that you're pushing up against. So here are facial exercises, here's your aging process, and both of them are meeting. And sometimes, depending on what your lifestyle is, the wall of aging begins to win. So you have to look at how you're maintaining the facial exercises, you have to look at what you're doing with your body, you have to look at what you're eating. If you want to maintain your youthful looks, you have to look at a holistic whole thing about your body. And this will help you understand how your aging process works. So if you're eating processed food, if you're eating tons of meat, if you're eating lots of sugar, lollies, cakes, processed food like that, you will then start to age exponentially. It's a fact. It's an absolute fact. And when I see young women that are even in their 20s, puffy eyes underneath, wrinkles underneath the eyes, dehydrated skin, I am absolutely shocked at how people are aging so rapidly these days. So guys, I hope that's helped you today. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel. I do ask that all the time for guys to I do ask that all the time, because it's in subscribing that you're getting all these updates and keeping up with the changes in the program. Please do remember to like the video as well. I really would appreciate that, because it's in liking the video that helps me and my